Hello, everyone. Welcome to week 12 of online English 1060 with me. Hope your quarantine is going well. Just heard, so today is March 29th. It's Sunday. Just got word yesterday of the new shelter-in-place order for our state in North Carolina. So stay home, really. It's not just a request. Now it's legally required of us. How exciting. So I hope that you can still enjoy trying to do school with me. So let's get started. All right, before this lecture, I would love for you to review chapter 38 in the Norton on arguing. I know you read that, or you were supposed to have read it for last week, but make sure that you've read it well if you haven't. Even if you've decided on exploring, there are still pieces from that you'll need to take into account. But you do need to read for me chapters 41 on defining, 42 on describing, and 45 on narrating to be able to fully kind of get what I'm suggesting to you for today. All right. If you have done that and you're ready to go, then here is what's up. Today, I want to spend some time talking about the great work you've done on discussion boards for last week. Super proud. Thank you for just jumping into that assignment. I know it was a little funky or weird compared to the kind of talking and discussion-based class that we have, but I think you all did really well. And I'll talk about that in a minute and give you some warnings. I want to kind of give you the overview of what's going to be up for this week, because a little different from last week. I want to discuss some of the key concepts in those 3 chapters I want you to read for today. I will give you a sample outline for a research essay like this. I'm going to give you access to 2 sample essays, full essays, so you can see what A-range papers look like for this assignment, even with a different theme. And then I'll make sure you know what you have to do for the end of this week. Here we go. Let's do school. Woohoo. Wish we could together. All right. So the discussion board for this past week, generally really solid work. I did get to go in and comment on every single one of your posts and give some suggestions if I had an immediate reaction to how to improve your wording. And I really want to encourage you to go and look at what I said and what your classmates have said in that discussion board. Even though I'm not asking you to respond or reply to others, creeping on each other's work and on my response to that work is, in a sense, like an attempt at kind of taking the place of our normal in-class discussion. It is a little bit more work on my end, but I'm happy to do it for you in this weird situation here. So go look at those. I spent a good amount of time on it, and I would love for y'all to get something out of it. So at the very least, look at my comments that I left for you. But creeping around will also help you see kind of like what the goals are and suggestions for wording. I was waiting on you all to respond. I was like, okay, cool, all right. But super proud of your work generally. Keep it up. Here's what I want to talk about in terms of what to avoid moving forward. So even though I didn't ask you to, think about writing things perfectly for this first assignment, I do just want to go ahead and put a warning out there generally. This is not to call anyone out for doing something wrong. I just want to have a focus as we move forward. So when I asked you to think about audience, besides me and like your classmates, like if you wanted to consider a wider audience, because you could do something with these essays in the end, some of you really did think about who else might read it. But then I also saw a lot of general kind of commentary, like anyone that's interested in the topic. Well, that's not going to work, right? Because that's not a specific group. We don't really know who you're talking about. So just keep that in mind. Like, you can't just claim anyone that's interested in the topic, because you've got issues of access. And also, that's going to affect how you write it. And you can't reach every single potential reader with the choices that you're making in your essay writing. So make sure, yes, you need me and your classmates in mind, but if you're trying to reach a wider audience, have a specific group in mind, not just general, because again, general, are you talking about teenagers or children? I don't think so. Are you talking about, anyway, I think you get it. You don't need more examples from me, but if you do, happy to give them. Watch out. Here's the second thing. Watch out for second person. I know we've been talking in class about moving away from that already, but seriously, it's super easy to write with the universal you, right? Like, you should do this. You should think this way. But we really do need to drop that, all right? Drop the you. Just use first person I, because you are writing this essay, so please speak in first person as the author. And you can use third person, he, she, they, them, specific groups, name them, but do not use second person. Get out of that habit. It's a hard one to break, but you can do it. Third thing I want to bring up, did see a lot of in today's society. I wrote vomit emoji because I couldn't figure out how to put emojis on this slide on my laptop. So don't say that. It doesn't really mean anything. It's like today's society, like what group are you talking about? Even the word society can be problematic because who are you talking about, right? Like I wrote the fourth thing here, people or society. I'm like, which people? Which society? Because even though we're in the college like academic system together, my concept of society might be different from your concept of society. And if you say people, do you mean all people, a specific group of people? My people are different from your people. So if you're going to make a claim about a whole group, you need to specify. In terms of the in today's society move, in past textbooks that I've used, they say to either just drop that phrasing, or if you're really trying to establish something chronological, just use today, okay? Today, this is what's happening, all right? In today's society, it's wordy and high school-esque and doesn't really mean anything anymore. So that's going to be a hard one to work out of your lexicon, if you will, because you have been taught to do that, particularly in high school, or if not taught it, it has not been forbidden. But I really want to encourage you not to use that phrasing, because do we even know what we mean when we say that? Like, be specific about a group. Cool. If you have any questions about other things to avoid, please let me know. But right now, that's kind of what I was seeing just in the discussion board style. So be aware of those things. Cool. Great. All right. Ready to move on? Yeah, you are, because I am, I guess. So here are the next steps that you need to kind of consider as you experience the rest of this lecture. By the end of week 12, okay, so Friday, 11:59 p.m., I need an outline at the very least from you. I'm going to show you what a solid outline looks like. Or if you want to go ahead and attempt like writing a partial draft, great. But at the very least, I want to see an outline based on those outline interpretation suggestions that I gave you. So if you're arguing, I should see one in an argument structure. If you're exploring, I want to see one in an exploration structure. In the past, particularly, I don't know what your specific experiences with outlining have been in your education so far, but I know sometimes they're super easy to BS, or they can be, they seem to be, and in the past I've had students do that too. But I want to say week 13, so this following week, where I'm supposed to be giving you feedback on what you're doing, it's only going to work if you give me something significant. So if you just take the outline suggestions and you kind of just like copy and paste the language and kind of write the names of a couple of authors and, include your thesis statement that hasn't been edited from the discussion board, I'm not going to be able to give you any kind of new guidance, right? So That's why the discussion board assignment for this week is going to be super simple, because I want you to focus on your outline. And even if you're not an outline person, I want you to try it. Okay, I want you to try it. Humor me at the very least. I think that you will feel really good about it after you do it, but it is going to take some work. But if you put the work in now, writing the actual essay won't be as hard and won't feel as disjointed if you actually attempt an outline. But again, if you're ready to just get on it and try a full draft as well, do that. I will give you feedback on whatever you give to me by 11:59 p.m. on Friday, April 3rd. Cool? Cool. I'm now, before we move forward, going to go ahead and take a minute to pause here, because I have learned from uploading videos last week that because I have like a non-celebrity account on YouTube, I can only upload 15-minute increments at a time. How fun, right? So I want to see if I can grab my cat that's sitting up here so you can say hello, and then we'll move forward in a second. Here's New. She says hi. There you go. Yes. Yes. Okay. See you on the other side.